guys, today we've got a small business Q&A. So I've been asking you guys on Instagram to ask me any questions about a small business, about running a small business, about my business in general. So I'm going to answer them all in this video, and hopefully some of the questions might help, or maybe you just get a bit of behind the scenes of what I think. Okay, so we've got quite a few questions and I've not really read them too much, so I can just give you my answer on the spot. So the first one is from Sisters That Clay, is what's your favorite season to create for? Do you have a favorite holiday to create? Yes. Now, surprisingly, although my brand is very colorful and bright, I love Halloween. I love it. I love creating Halloween stuff. I don't know why. I never even liked Halloween growing up or anything, but now I just absolutely love it. I can't wait for Halloween and Christmas. I would say I love them both equally, and I love that one goes into the other. So that is my creative time of the year where I just go a bit crazy. We go crazy with the sales as well. It's my most popular time of the year and I just have so much fun with it. I feel like there's no rules to Halloween or Christmas, and you can get as crazy as you want, and people get more fun earrings around that time of year as well. So it's my element and I really enjoy that time of year. I love being able to make glow in the dark earrings as well at Halloween, and do darker like blacks, oranges, greens, which I don't usually work with too often because my brand is so colourful. The next one is from Beef Paste Design. She's actually asked 3 different questions. The first one is best filming tips and tricks. Now, I've actually done a whole new video on that, so if you want to check that out, if it's up now, I'll leave it here. If not, it will be coming soon, so make sure you subscribe and press the bell icon so you get notified when that video comes up. She's also asked best tips for building your brand and getting consistent sales. Now, I think this is a massive misconception that loads of people ask me about, and I don't get consistent sales. Majority of the time, I'll have days in a row with 0 sales, and that is completely normal for my business. I've been running my business for 4.5 years and I can confidently say I do not get consistent sales. Now, as of recent, my Instagram is doing really well with sales. In the last 30 days, I've had 4 million views, which is very out the ordinary for me, and I'm very excited about it, but I've been working very hard to get them views, and that has gave me some consistent sales, more than what I've ever had before. So I'm getting about 2-3 orders a day, which is what you want as a small business owner realistically. But for me, and I don't know if it's like that for any other small businesses, so if you do run a small business, let me know in the comments if you're the same as me. But some days I could get 20 orders, the next day I could get 0. It's very hit or miss. I do things that get me more sales, so a launch day will get me a lot of sales, and things like Lucky Dip Day and different things like that. If I do a sale, I'll get a lot of orders. But apart from that, on a day-to-day basis, I don't get your regular like 10 orders a day or anything like that. But I would say for building your brand, which again I've done videos on, post on social media really does help build your brand. If you go live, more people are going to notice you, and you're going to be able to build your brand quicker that way. But I would do sales, discounts if you're just starting out. Get your business out there, do some good quality videos. For example, Beef Paste Designs, I know you do like cups and stuff like that. Like I've seen you do JLS cups and you're very JLS themed. So do relatable content on JLS if you can. If you're going to a concert, do as much as you can of making a drink while you're getting ready for the concert in your JLS cup. It's an easy way to promote your business without being too salesy and full on, and I feel like more people are going to be inquisitive about that cup and comment, where did you get that, or look at your page and see where they can get it. So I think things like that, as an example, are good ways to build your brand in more of a discreet way rather than being too salesy. And her last question is, if you could start your business again, what would you change? I don't know. I don't think there's much that I would change, because if I changed anything, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I don't think there's much I would change. I think the thing that I have learned, which isn't necessarily to do with my business, is just to be more careful about who you trust in the industry, especially small business owners. I think everybody's out for themselves a little bit, and if they could stab you in the back, they would, majority. There are some really nice small business owners out there. I would class myself as one. Maybe people would disagree, maybe people would agree. It depends what experience you have with people, but I've come across some businesses that aren't very nice and can be really nasty and can be all friendly to you but then be talking about you behind your back. So I would just say to be careful who you trust online. Not everybody has got great intentions as much as you'd hope. I recently had an experience where I bought from a small business and then someone actually messaged me saying, oh, you've mistreated so-and-so. And I was like, what do you mean I've mistreated them? No, I haven't. I've actually been very nice to them. And I looked back at my messages with this business owner and I was actually so nice to them. I've got all the evidence, so if anyone else wants to call me out on it. I don't know where this business has said these things, but this small businesses go around saying all these things about me and I had no idea until that person messaged me. And it's all completely false. I bought a product from her. I had bought 100, for example, and she had only sent me 80. So I told her, for example, that 20 are missing, and then she said, oh, I'll give you a refund. And I said, oh, don't worry about it, it's absolutely fine. If you could just send the 20, that'll be great. And then, because that's what I've paid for. And that was it. And I said, don't worry about a refund or giving me any money, it's absolutely fine. So actually, I was really nice to that person, and yeah, they had gone around and spoke about me. So you don't actually know people are doing that until someone says. So I would just be careful who you trust. So that's just something that I've learned, but some people may not even interact with other small business owners, so you won't have that problem. But if you do, just be careful, because not everybody is as nice as they seem. But there are loads of small businesses that I really get along with. There's someone called Georgia who has a cake business and we get along really well. I've sent her some gifts before and we just get along really nice. And there's loads of businesses that I get along with and we have really good relationships. It's just the odd one now and again that you can come across which aren't as nice as you'd think. So Jack Fawn Designs has asked, what's your best advice for those just starting out? I think my best advice is just to enjoy yourself, because if you're starting a business, which I've noticed a lot recently, if you're starting a business and you're starting it for the money and like the followers and stuff, then I wouldn't even bother starting, because I don't think you're going to get very far doing that. But if you're starting it off just because it's a hobby and you enjoy it, that's a way better and more organic way of starting your business. And I think you'll grow better that way. Because when I started my business, for example, it was during the lockdown and I was never expecting it to be my full-time job. It was more of just something to keep me busy and to keep my mental health in check, sort of thing. So I feel like that way I'd grown organically through the years and then become my full-time job. But I think if I started now and it was my intention to be my full-time job, I just don't think it would have happened, because I think you put too much pressure on it and it's very forced then and you're not enjoying it. I think you need to enjoy the process, do loads of research. I have so many people in my DMs asking for tips constantly, but they want me to basically tell them how to run their business. The whole fun is exploring it and learning it yourself, and I feel like you're going to grow way better and how you want to run your business rather than someone just telling you how to do it. So Chips Cheesecake has asked, any advice and tips for being self-employed in England? It seems also complicated. Yeah, it is. There's no like guidebook on how to run a business in the UK. It is complicated, I'll be honest. Some parts I did not think were involved in being a small business owner. The tax side of things, so you need to earn a certain amount. I think it's, I can't remember, 13,500, something like that. You need to earn that amount before being able to pay tax. So you need to register your business first, which I have actually gone through a little bit more on my video that's called Starting a Jewelry Business on a Budget, something like that. Go and check that one out, even if you don't have a jewelry business, because it does tell you a lot about starting a business in general. Some of the main and more serious things that you may not know about having to run a business is tax. You need to pay tax and you need to do bookkeeping and tax returns and stuff like that. I have got an accountant, if I'm being honest. I know how to do it, but I have not got the time for it. So you need to record everything that goes out of your bank account and everything that comes into your bank account to do with your business. I would set up a separate bank account so you can track it better and get anything from your website or Etsy or whatever to go straight into that account. Then you can track in one place where all your incomings are, and then your outgoings you need to track separately. Now I'm really bad at this. I just do it on an annual basis. As we're in April now, I need to do my tax returns now, so what I'll do is collate everything. I'll spend about a week straight collating everything from ingoings to outgoings from my business, send it to my accountant, and he'll do the rest of the work. And then he'll just give me a price on how much I need to pay for my tax, and I'll pay it. You need to pay it by January, but your accountant, if you get an accountant, you can just pay them I know it can be an extra fee, but it saves you a lot of time and a lot of confusion, and it will make sure you don't get fined and all the rest of it. So I made a mistake at the beginning of my business by not doing that. I registered my business, but I put through no tax returns, which I was fined £100 per one. So that was for 3 years. So I was fined £300. Luckily, I managed to appeal it, which you can do, and you'll get the fine taken down if you just say you had no idea if that's genuine. I didn't need to pay tax for them 3 years anyway, so I didn't owe any money. I just needed to do a tax return to let them know that I'm not earning anything, so you can just zero everything off. But in my personal opinion, I would just get an accountant. They do it all for you. They just tell you how much you have to pay and you have to pay it. So that's one of the big things that I found really complicated owning a business, and I didn't know that was included in it because I don't know any business owners. So that was a bit of a shock to me. You need to register your business. Go to the gov.uk website, register your business. That's something you need to do, and get a domain if you can. So mine's charings.com. You can do that as well. I set my website up through Wix, and you can get one on there and just pay for it on there. But there's some of the more complicated things. If you've got any particular questions in general, comment them down below and I can try and help you as much as I can in the comments. And as well, if I've missed anything out, comment it as well so we can help each other out as small business owners. So Nicole was asked, how did you start marketing your brand, make customers aware of you? I have no idea where to start. So I would start, if you can, on Etsy if you've got a handmade business, or somewhere like that where Etsy actually bring you customers. That's how I started. They do have terrible fees on there, I will be honest, but it's probably worth it at the beginning if you haven't got any customers. And as for social media, I've got a whole video on social media if you want to go check it out. I've actually got two, but one is growing your business on social media, which I'll put up here. I'll put it at the end of the video if I can as well, or just go to my YouTube and just have a look for it. That one is all to do with growing your business online, and I've got another one as well which is filming content for it. So there's two videos there that go hand in hand, which will really help you to be able to grow your business online and on social media. But I would use social media as a platform. It's free and you can advertise yourself on there. Moles asked, what is your absolute favorite part of running your small business? I would just say the freedom, being able to have my own hours, have no one tell me what to do, and do everything myself. That is the best part of it, and I just love having my own hours. I make my own hours. If I don't want to work tomorrow, I won't work tomorrow. If I want a week off, I'll have a week off. If I want to work until 9 p.m. tonight, I'll do that. The flexibility is the best thing about it. Poppy Crow asked, where do you source your earring findings? This is one of my most asked questions. Honestly, people ask me constantly. It's just Amazon, but they are the more expensive ones on Amazon because all my jewelry is hyperallergenic. So for a minute, I use a manufacturer on Amazon, and I always use the same person, but they have the best quality findings, and that's the best place. I have tried looking many times for other manufacturers or places to source earring findings, and it seems to be quite a difficult task because a lot of people ask me the same question, but it simply is just Amazon. Just have a look at the description of the listings. Don't go for the cheapest, go for the ones that have got the best description of the quality of the findings. The Tearful Clown asked, how did you create your own website, and do you have any tips for people looking to make one? I made a website on Wix, and it's actually really easy. You can use Spotify. You can use Shopify as well. There's loads of different platforms where you can build it, and you don't have to make it from scratch like a graphic designer. Just use one of them platforms, and it tells you step by step on how to build your website. So it's really easy to use those sort of platforms. So I'd recommend doing something like that. I use Wix and it's great. They've got a 24-hour support service as well, so you can call them anytime and they'll help you with whatever query you have. So I would recommend using somewhere like that. I can't speak for Shopify because I've not used it before, but I've heard great things. I know a lot of businesses use it. I can do a whole video on Wix if you want me to do that. Just leave it in the comments down below. If you've got any other questions as well, I can do another Q&A in the future. So ask as many questions as you want in the comments down below, and I'll answer them all in another video to help further if you've got any more in-depth questions. Hey Hurst has asked, how do I clean ones that get face makeup on them? So assumably earrings. So for clay earrings, this is specifically for polymer clay because that's what I work with. So if you wear makeup, you'll probably notice that your polymer clay earrings get makeup on them eventually. Now they are waterproof, the clay itself, so you can put them in the water, but it won't wash off as well as acetone. So this is the one I get off Amazon. Obviously you can get a smaller one. This lasts me months, and I use it for my business all the time. So you can get a smaller acetone, but this one will last you forever. It's basically like nail polish remover, but you use that with either a cotton pad or a cotton bud and just wipe it gently onto your earring, and it will get rid of anything on there. Even if you stained it, even if you've got pen on it, anything, it will get rid of it. But if it's, for example, these earrings here, they've got glitter in the middle, don't use it on the glitter part because you'll remove the glitter from the earring. But if it's anything like the end of the flower, like this will probably get makeup on it all day, just wipe it off with a bit of acetone and it'll be as good as new. So the last question is from Moles, and she said, what's your favorite collection or piece you've ever made and released? People ask me this all the time and I never know the answer, because obviously everything I release I love. If I make something and I don't end up liking it, I won't release it because I want to be proud in everything that I launch. But something that I've started getting into recently are cluster flower earrings, and I really enjoy making them and I love how they look. They're a little bit on the pricier side. I sell them for £60 each, but even though I sell them for that price, they've still been really popular. I've done a few different styles now. I've done miniature versions as well, and they've been really popular. So that's probably currently one of my favorites. I also love our ombre earrings as well, the ombre rainbows. They're just one of my favorites. I love the color combination with the ombre, with the pastel, with the holographic stars. It's just one of my favorites. But that is all the questions that I've got at the moment. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Even if you personally have got like 5 questions, put them all down below. I'll answer them in another video that will hopefully come soon. If you like my polymer clay earrings that I make, my website is charrings.com. I'll leave it in the description down below if you want to shop any earrings yourself. And if you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram, they are also in the description. Please do subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I've got loads of tips, tricks videos. I've got loads of studio vlogs if you want to spend the day with me on my channel. Please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos. Hope this helped, and bye. Thanks.